A love for art and golf is the perfect combination for our next guest. Mixed media artist Christopher Obetz, aka CR, is here.
That's right. His latest work continues to revolve around the art history of hands at the Masters. And Christopher is back with us this year to discuss his new project. And it's good to see you.
Hi, Cliff, Taylor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Look basically the same since the last time you were here.
Right?
I need a CR sling.
I'm happy to do that for you and add some morning mix branding on there.
That would be fine, actually. Yeah, it's way too dark in there in this camera.
I also need to be part of a coffee mug challenge, too.
Okay, well, that would be good. You know what? You get a mug if you make that for me. That's fine.
Done.
How are you enjoying tournament week so far?
I love it. Coming back here always makes me so thrilled. And one of my favorite parts about coming back are meeting the people who've never been here before. It's just seeing it crystallize, and I always ask people, is this your first time? And then they say it is, and it just watching it resonate, coming to the town, the never walking on the course, the expectations, and the true joy. It's for a newbie and a first-timer,
right.
There's nothing like it.
Absolutely.
Now, 2 years you were honoring Bernard Langer. Last year, you shared a special moment at the Masters with Jack Nicklaus and his wife, Barbara, photographing their hands. So what was that like?
That was probably one of the greatest moments of my life, being invited into their cabin at the Masters and having that intimate moment where not only did I photograph Jack's hand in similar poses to what Ben Hogan did for the 5 lessons, but I captured both their hands together, representing the symbol of love and giving, which they give back to the game like no one can believe. I mean, from the Nicholas Hospitals to the first tee, their passion and love for giving back is what I capture here in these images, which then become works of fine art.
You know, there are people, you'll meet celebrities, and people are just awestruck by the celebrities, and just, you know, it could be a George Clooney or Brad Pitt. You meet people like Jack Nicklaus and Bernard Langer and everything, and they're just down-to-earth people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they're so down to earth that they never lose sight of what it means to take their celebrity and their iconic status and then use it in ways that can help other people. It's very meaningful.
So what's been happening since last year, since last time we saw you?
Well, based on the hand project with Jack and also working with sports figures like George Kittle and his hands, my whole concept of, you know, how do people use their hands? Do they use it for hard work? Do they use it for loving? Do you pat a friend on the back and, you know, give them a hand? It's all for me about paying forward and using more of celebrity sports stars, other, you know, maybe a professor, teachers, and now I've actually working with another foundation where people who actually don't have hands and are using prosthetics, and how do they incorporate that into their life? So it's a new angle for me. It's not really an angle.
Yeah.
It's a joy, and to see someone, you know, if you don't have a hand, well, first of all, you appreciate your hands more, but then how do they learn to re-engage? And so there's a young man who is having special prosthetics made so he can use a golf club that I'm now interested in and sharing his story.
Wow, that's awesome.
I can't wait to hear that next year when you come back.
Right?
Exactly.
So you speak a little bit about your plans, but what are some more of your upcoming plans for the art and story of hands?
Well, this year, I hope to bring that back here to the Masters next year for 2026 to debut the entire hand show here, where we can actually have an audience that will love the golf and the game and hands and know the history. And from there, there's a big part of my new storytelling, which is a book I'm writing called Finding Fathers in Fairways. This is kind of a new heart passion.
This is something that we haven't talked about, and you've been here on the show now a couple of years too, because your connection to golf isn't just with arts. Your father actually really had a connection here, correct?
He did. Our family tradition started with my great uncle, who was one of the 8 founders of the U.S. Ryder Cup, and then just spontaneously, my dad happened to grow up next door to Jack Nicklaus. That on the screen is my grandfather and my father winning the father-son.
I can see the resemblance.
And ironically, there's my father and Jack, and that's Jack's last round of golf he played before he got married to Barbara with their friend Bobby Barton and the great iconic coach Jack Grout. These stories, you know, we all know our dads, but you know, my dad grew up in the 50s and so did Jack. In those times, people were reluctant to share their stories, and when I rescued the Ravielli collection, I knew my first goal was to preserve it, protect it, and celebrate it, and tell the story of the artist Anthony Ravielli. With my father and Jack, that's a very special story and a very personal story. and you guys are storytellers, and I'm a storyteller as well. But I don't want to lose this opportunity, and for me to kind of engage my father in these intimate moments of what was it like to, climb across the cobbled fences of Scioto, and what were they thinking about? What was Jack Nicklaus thinking about when he was 8, 10, 12, 17, and what was my father doing? Their experiences were quite unique. In the book, Finding Fathers and Fairways, metaphors all the journeys that we all travel down different fairways. Jack had a father who encouraged professional golf when there was no such thing as professional golf. My father had a father who was a doctor and absolutely saw it as preposterous and discouraged my dad from being anything but a doctor or a lawyer.
Right.
I, of course, found my own path in art.
And this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. Popartcr.com is where you can go to get all the information on our friend Christopher here. We're looking at this book coming out when?
Next year.
Next year?
Next year. We should have it back next year.
Awesome.
I'd love to do a storytelling.
Yeah.
Then fine. You'll be back here with us a year from now. Exactly.
Right. Well,
yes.
yay.
Always good to see you, Ben.
Thank you guys for
joining us.
having me.
Appreciate
It means a lot.
Always, always, always.